Well, hey there, Mary Farias here with 5 minutes is better than nothing of personal development. We're studying my book, How to Study Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We are in chapter 9, Persistence, one of the most poignant chapters of the book. Let me just say that. So yesterday we talked about the symptoms of lack of persistence. And so what he talks about now on page 226 is this. Let us examine some of the symptoms of the fear of criticism. The majority of people permit relatives, friends, and the public at large to so influence them that they cannot live their own lives because they fear criticism. Huge numbers of people make mistakes in marriage, stand by bargain, and go through life miserable and unhappy because they fear criticism, which may follow if they correct the mistake. Anyone who has submitted to this form of fear knows the irreparable damage it does by destroying ambition, self-reliance, and the desire to achieve. Millions of people neglect to acquire belated educations after having left school because they fear criticism. Countless numbers of men and women, both young and old, permit relatives to wreck their lives in the name of duty because they fear criticism. Duty does not require any person to submit to the destruction of his personal ambitions and the right to live his own life in his own way. People refuse to take chances in business because they fear the criticism which may follow if they fail. The fear of criticism in such cases is stronger than the desire for success. Too many people refuse to set high goals for themselves or even neglect selecting a career because they fear the criticism of relatives and, quote, friends who may say, "Don't aim so high, people will think you are crazy." When Andrew Carnegie suggested that I devote 20 years to the organization of a philosophy of individual achievement, my first impulse of thought was fear of what people might say. The suggestion set up a goal for me far out of proportion to any I had ever conceived. As quick as a flash, my mind began to create alibis and excuses, all of them traceable to the inherent fear of criticism. Something inside me said, "You can't do it. The job is too big and requires too much time. What will your relatives think of you? How will you earn a living? No one has ever organized a philosophy of success. What right do you have to believe that you can do it? Who are you anyway to aim so high? Remember your humble birth. What do you know about philosophy? People will think you are crazy, and they did. Why hasn't some other person done this before now? These and many other questions flashed into my mind and demanded attention. It seemed as if the whole world had suddenly turned its attention to me with the purpose of ridiculing me and giving up all desire to carry out Mr. Carnegie's suggestion. Oh, isn't that strong? That is such a wonderful piece. And it is so important that we begin to trust and live our own lives. We need to trust ourselves. We need to move forward, know what's best for each one of us. Nobody can stand in our shoes, no matter how close they are to us. No one can stand in our shoes, nor can we stand in any others. So, in order to begin letting go of this fear of criticism, begin letting go of criticism of other people. If we criticize others, we are welcoming in criticism for ourselves. Remember this. And remember that he says the fear of criticism in such cases is stronger than the desire for success. This is pointing directly to this burning desire that we need to form within ourselves to go after the goal that we truly want to achieve. Be sure that you nurture this desire. Be sure that you fuel it and feed it and make it more and more strong as you move forward in your life. Because the stronger that this desire is, the stronger your purpose, the stronger your why, you will begin to not care about what other people think, do, or say. It doesn't matter one bit what somebody might say, right? And the people that are closest to us, we fear the most sometimes, right? Because they're the loudest. They're the ones that feel safe to tell us what they think. So begin to trust yourself and move forward on your own desires. Get 'em on.